Hello and welcome back. It's season 2. It's the first of our season 2. Have you missed us, you lovely listeners out there and watchers and listeners? This is An Unorthodox CEO. We're back ready to share more stories and be joined by even more guests. Ooh, that is exciting. Yeah, so we've got some really good guests lined up for season 2. I am, as always, Steve Pickering, the CEO of Sussex Beds. And today we are lucky enough to be joined by Paul Matthews.
Hello, Steve.
Paul.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so Paul is going to speak to us all things customer experience. Now, it always catches me up because I always see the letters CX, and I have to think every blooming time. CX, what does CX? Oh, customer experience, not CE, it's CX. So there we go. We're going to speak about.
Yeah, why make it easy when you can make it difficult, Steve? Eh?
It always stumps me. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to speak to Paul why it's so important to every business. Customer experience should be at the heart of every business, and I do believe actually it is right deep in the heart of our business. So we're going to talk about more about that. We do actually have, Vic, another guest in the room. So we've got Paul's daughter, who's studying media, wanted to come along and see what we do and how we do it. So welcome, Olivia. Yeah, if you want to chip in with any questions towards your dad, you feel free to do so.
Oh goodness, that's putting me under even more pressure.
So before we go any further, before we start, don't forget, please subscribe. Press that subscribe button, like, follow, whatever that is on there, whatever you're doing, watching or listening, make sure you click that subscribe button because you don't want to miss an episode. Yeah. There we go. So that's our intro done. Yeah, intro done. Let's crack on. Paul, hello.
Hello.
All right. I thought let's start at the very beginning, as the song says. I think I've said that before.
It's a very good place to start.
It is. It is. Tell us about, I suppose, where you started your career, or from schooling into career, and how you took the leap into your own business and running your own business in CX. CX,
yeah, well done.
Customer experience.
So, I suppose wasn't a great student. Wasn't brilliant at school.
No.
Didn't really do particularly well kind of in my GCSEs. Was never really one for learning at school. Kind of was too busy probably trying to be the class clown and mucking about a bit too much.
I relate to that.
So I came out of school with average GCSEs at best. Went off to Hastings College, did a business course.
Yep.
Had no idea what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. And was fortunate in my second year of that business course to get a work experience placement at the local leisure centre.
Yeah.
In Hastings, and so I did my 2 weeks work experience, and they offered me a job at the end of it.
Yeah.
So went through and I was there for 8 years, from kind of Saturday boy, lifeguard, right the way through to over those 8 years into eventually managing all 3 of the facilities that were operated in Hastings by the operator at that time.
So it's quite a rapid.
Yes. I was fortunate. The company that operated the facilities was keen to invest in youth and bring people through.
Yeah.
So I did a variety of roles, from what we called customer advisor, which would be selling gym memberships, progressed into sales management, marketing, and then into first facility management and then general management.
So actually, when you say that, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because you got experience in lots of different areas, which I guess, as you made the leap into your own business, come in quite handy.
Absolutely. I think there's things that I learned in those 8 years just around managing people.
Yeah.
And as you know, that's probably the hardest thing that you can do in any business.
Yeah.
How to manage people, how to get the best out of people, and also having a really wide skill set kind of commercially and behind the scenes, of probably more when I moved into a bit later on into other leisure centres that I managed, being responsible for the P&L and the commercial delivery of a business.
Wow, yeah.
Gave me a really good footing
Yes.
for how I now work and help and support businesses in the role that I'm doing now.
Yeah. So when you made that step from college into the workplace, so you're saying college, education didn't really do it for you.
No.
When you moved into the workplace, did suddenly that change?
Yeah, I think that's where I found my feet, I suppose. I kind of realised that, well, I think there's two things. First of all, the honest bit would be, I haven't really got any other options here, so I've got to kind of get on and make something of this.
Yeah.
And then the second part, I suppose, was realising that actually I did have something to offer, which was more than education, more than of doing a test, more kind of being a person and how you can relate to people, how you can get the best out of people, build relationships at work, and see a pathway perhaps as well that I could actually progress, and there was an opportunity to make a career out of this rather than just a job on a Saturday morning, for example.
So was sport of interest to you at the time, or
yeah, I mean, I'd always kind of kept relatively fit and healthy, growing up. I played a bit of football, played for Westfield at a young age. So I played fairly decent standard football. My main passion growing up was racing motorbikes, so I did motocross racing.
Blimey.
So that kind of kept me fit and healthy. And my sister swam for seagulls locally at the swimming pool, so I was used to going into the leisure centre environment. Yeah. But it wasn't really something that I'd ever seen myself having a career in.
No, and that, I think that's just fantastic of life, though, isn't it? That you leave, okay, let's go that way, and that's the way. So much. I think there's so much pressure, isn't it, to know what you're going to do. Yeah. Especially in school, and you don't know really what the world's about, or
absolutely. And I think it's even harder for young people today. I mean, my son Dylan now, he's 19. He's just at that crossroads he's going to be leaving college. He doesn't really know what he wants to do. No. And it's so difficult to feel like everybody seems to know what they want to do and everybody else has got a path they're set on. And it's like, oh no, I don't. No. But I think, my message is that I think for me, when I got into work, that's when I came alive. That's when actually things changed and clicked for me. Yeah. And I'm sure there's millions of people out there, all of your millions of listeners will be able to relate to
millions of people all over the world
will be able to relate to that as well. It's not all about education. I think there's a place for continued education once you found a passion. Yes. So keeping yourself educated. Yes. But actually worrying about more broad level education.
Yeah. Find your feet.
Yeah.
Try something. If you don't like it, move on. Try something else. Yeah.
And that's probably the advantage that today's youth have, is they'll probably have 5 or 6 careers.
Yes.
Whereas we probably it felt like you had to find something and then that's what you would do. Yes. Whereas now I think there's much more breadth and much more scope for people to jump around.
Move across. Yeah, I think that is a thing, isn't it, with younger
definitely.
People? That job for life has changed dramatically, hasn't it? And there's some stats which I don't have had to hand, so I'm not going to make them up, but it is a thing. So your career in leisure centres and you made your way up, managing people, managing the leisure centres. What was it that then prompted you to, I guess then that was where you left and started your own business, or...
Yeah, so I'd all throughout my management career in leisure, I'd kind of knew how important it was that we provided a great experience for customers, so that we had consistency, that we had good service delivery, because that would drive people to come back again and again and again and help us to grow the businesses. Yeah. So I'd employed a local company to do mystery shopping, to do mystery visits and inquiries. So I'd always been kind of understanding the importance of customer service, the importance of experience. Yeah. My dad had also had his own business when I was a child, a bit like you. I was growing up in the family business, which was a transport business. Yeah. So he hauled apples into Merrydown Cider at Horham, and grain up to Nottingham, and potatoes to goodness knows where, him and his 2 brothers. Yeah. But so I'd always had this, it'd be great to run my own business one day. Yes. But I knew that it wasn't going to be in that. No. Wasn't my passion or what I wanted to do. Yeah. And then an opportunity came about back 11 years ago now, where the business that I was using to do the mystery shopping, mystery inquiries into the leisure centre that I was running, said, we've got an opportunity. Would you like to get involved? And by then I'd done 19 years in leisure and kind of felt like I've got to a point where without moving away or, having a silly commute, I'd hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, why not? And that was at that time Shopper Anonymous, which is now Insight 6, and that's run under a franchise. So we've got 28 offices across the UK, work with about 800 businesses. And at that time, Jonathan Winchester, the CEO, said, I've got an opportunity in Sussex and I think you're great and I'd like you to get involved.
Yeah.
So I had to beg, borrow, didn't steal money to invest and start my own limited company.
Yes.
And then that's fronted by the Insight 6 badge and all the things we get within Insight 6 and the system and the processes. Yeah. So it was a big leap of faith. I mean, Olivia and Dylan were small, so 10 years ago. So you're 16, aren't you? Yeah. So 6, I can't remember how old my own children are, terrible. 6 and 8 at the time. They had obviously a mortgage and all the things you would have thought. And it was my wife Louise who said, Paul, what's the worst that can happen? Let's go for it. If it goes wrong, you know enough people, you've had a good career in leisure, you can go back and get a job. Thankfully, touch wood, that hasn't happened, and 11 years later we're going better than ever. Yeah.
So tell us how does it work? What do you do? How do you start? And
what do we do? So essentially what we do is we work with the best businesses who want to put the customer at the centre of their world. So we work with them to help them to reach their goals, whether that might be their bottom line for some, or it might just be the experiences they're delivering. And we do that through mystery inquiries. So that could be via your website, your telephone, or physical visits to your store. We also look after businesses' customer feedback systems, so helping them to understand what their real customers think about them, whether that be during the journey, at the end of the post-purchase. And then we also offer training, coaching, mentoring, and I mentor business owners, helping them to be kind of that critical friend, I suppose, helping them to understand how their business could be better and help them to achieve the goals that they're looking to achieve, and provide that external support and ear that we all need at the top of a business.
So, I mean, we've used your services for many years, and so we do mystery shop our team to ensure that our teams are really living up to the standard, so that if you go into any one of our stores, you should get the same or similar service from each store. I think one of the most important influences you've had on our business was the customer surveys, and it's something we introduced a few years ago, where so after purchase, our consumers are asked how was the purchase experience, after the delivery, how the delivery experience, and then a few weeks later, how's the product? And it's a really important number for us. Do you find though that some businesses don't want to know?
Oh, absolutely. The biggest reason I hear that people don't want to get feedback is because they're frightened of what they might hear. And I always say...
What if there's something wrong?
Well, exactly right.
It's the words, isn't it?
I always say to people in response to that, I would say to you, anybody that is worried about that, I would say, look, people feel the way they do about the experience they've had, whether you ask them or not.
Yes.
Finding out how they feel just enables you to intervene and put it right when you've got it wrong, and shout loudly about it when it's great. So there is no downside here.
No.
If you think about it, if you've had a customer who's had a poor experience and you reach out to them and find out about that, you are in the driving seat.
Yes.
You can choose whether or not you want to ignore that. Obviously do that at your peril because they're going to tell other people about their negative experience. Or reach out, intervene, have a conversation, and do your damnedest to put it right quickly.
Absolutely.
And what we know from research is that when that happens, when a customer has a bad experience, if you can put it right quickly and to their satisfaction, there will be a higher level of advocacy than if that problem had not occurred in the first place.
Yes.
So in short, they love you more because they now trust you. Because they had a problem, you've sorted it out for them, so they go, those guys at Sussex Beds, they're great, I'm going to go and buy from them again, because when it goes wrong, they'll look after me.
Absolutely, yeah. And things do go wrong. You can't ever be 100% perfect.
Absolutely, of course.
And it's something that we live by is, if something of our making goes wrong, it's almost an internal thing here that we want to make them a super fan. What do we need to do to turn that poor experience or poor thing into an experience that they go, wow, this happened, but oh my goodness, did they step up?
Yeah.
They've done this, they've done that. And I guess really it goes from a profit sale into a marketing sale. It's, can we turn that person into a super fan that goes out and says how wonderful we are? And I guess that's what we look at with when things don't go quite right.
Absolutely. What you're really doing is you're protecting your future. You're thinking lifetime value here.
Yeah.
It's not just about, okay, I mean, I've got businesses that I work with where they will, there's a problem, they will put it right, and then they will send Mrs. Jones out for dinner with her husband to make up for it, because they'll be sitting there at that meal thinking about the business, the brand that's allowed them to have this lovely meal in the lovely hotel or a lovely restaurant.
Yeah.
So it turns that story right around from something negative to something positive.
Yeah.
And what then happens, of course, is they tell their friends about the experience that they've had. And it's not this happened, what a terrible business. Oh, yeah, but this happened, and guess what they did about it? They did this. Wow, that is much better than we'd anticipated.
It all seems so logical, and yet really experiences of any purchase are so often so poor.
Yeah. And I think a lot of what I do, there's nothing rocket science about this, but often businesses don't look at their business from the perspective of their customer or their prospect. They see their business through their own lens.
Yes.
So you'll have a perspective of the business from your seat.
Yeah.
Josh, the sales manager, your son, he'll have another view of the business from his seat. But both of those seats are completely different to the one that the customer sees.
Yeah.
And what we bring to the table is that we help you to see your business from the customer's side. Yeah. What is the experience they're having? How are they feeling at every step of your customer journey? Yeah. And how can we improve those parts of the journey from their point of view? Yeah. Not just from the point of view that you might be thinking of retention or increasing profit or whatever it might be, but actually seeing it from the things that the customer are going to deem as most valuable.
Yeah, yeah. And the other element to this is team satisfaction as well, which I know you've helped us with in the past, which is anonymous surveys to the team, asking them questions on how they feel about the business. Again, things coming back and they're not always comfortable to read or...
I mean, essentially, especially when you're so passionate about your own business, quite rightly, it's a family business, it's been there for generations, and it would be really easy for you to just think, we've been here for 40 odd years, things are great. But actually what you need to hear is the reality. And sometimes it's a bit like telling you your baby's ugly. Yeah. The feedback you're getting, is feedback that you don't want to hear, but it's the truth. And so actually hearing that from the team can help you to identify the areas of focus. Yeah. Actually, I didn't realise people felt that way. No. We need to do something about that. Yeah. What can we do? Yeah. And that might just be a conversation to the business about, this is what we're hearing, this is what we're going to do about it, or having a focus group to understand that a bit more. So we're getting some noise about this particular issue. We want to put together a bit of a few members of the team and find out what's really going on here and what can we do to make it better. Yeah.
So what's been the highlights of running your own business? What's been the...
I suppose on a personal level, the highlight for me is time. Yes. We talk a lot about the upsides of financially of running your own business, which is great when it's going well, but there's also difficult times when it's not. But the one thing that I believe having your own business gives you is the opportunity to manage your own time, your own diary, to not have to be here at 9 o'clock in the morning and leave at 5:30 in the evening. That if I want to take time off to go to the kids, when they were smaller, the kids' sports day, or go to the cinema like we're going to do this afternoon. These are things that I can make a conscious decision to do. Yeah. And so I think that's the biggest highlight for me, is to be able to, have time, spend time where I want to spend time.
And the toughest part?
The toughest part probably is twofold. One, when things are challenging, it can be challenging financially running your own business. So that we've all been in those difficult times.
Yes.
And that's, can lead to sleepless nights.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll go back to the other thing. The thing that I said is the high point can also be a low point too, because you want to spend time doing other things.
Yes.
But it's not always within your power to be able to choose to do that.
No.
Because you need to be here doing this.
Yeah.
So not here doing this right now. I want to be here doing this right now. But so sometimes whatever you want your time to be spent on doesn't always work like that because of the demands of running a business.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So what do you think? Have you got a question, Olivia?
I don't think I have a question. I have something to add.
Go on, please do,
I think growing up, obviously the business has been going on for as long as I can pretty much remember, over 10 years now.
Yeah.
But having Dad run it with so determined but so humble about it as well.
Yeah.
And successful, obviously. It's really helped me.
Yeah.
Because it's someone that I can look up to so well.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh gosh. Thank you, darling. I love you. So lovely. You don't think about things like that though, do you, necessarily?
No.
You try and be a good parent, you try and be a good role model.
Yeah.
And it's the unspoken stuff often. It's not the things that you say.
No.
It's the way that you behave. It's the things that you the characteristics you display, the things you do that are actually the things that kids see. And reminds me, I use this a lot in customer experience, this quote, Maya Angelou, the American civil rights poet and activist. She said, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you do, but they'll never forget how you make them feel.
No.
And I think it's so powerful when it comes to customer experience. Your customers won't necessarily remember exactly why they loved shopping with you.
No.
But it's the feeling that they're left with that drives their desire to refer you to their friends or to come back themselves and buy again. And it's a similar thing in terms of, parenting or friendship groups or whatever, that, it's the feelings that we get that are the most important thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. People purchase on emotion.
Yeah.
I think so many people think people purchase on price or, brand, but it's emotion around the brand or, it's how you make them feel is so important, isn't it?
So powerful. And that's the stuff, when I've worked with your team, I'm lucky enough to work with your teams on the front line. And what I think you do fantastically well as a business is the people that you employ, the sense of care, that it's not just about selling at all costs. It's much more than that. It's about making connections. It's about understanding our customers. It's about having empathy. It's about finding the right product for the right customer.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily the most expensive product.
No.
And I think you mentioned it in a previous episode, because I'm an avid listener, folks. I think you mentioned it in the previous episode about, if you want some cheap, thing,
low price,
you ain't going to get it here.
No.
And that's because, quite rightly, you want to help people to sleep well.
Yes. Yes.
I sleep every night because
you sleep on a Sussex bed. So does Olivia.
In fact, we've got 3 beds and a sofa bed in our house, and all of them, I'm proud to say, are Sussex beds. So even the guests on the occasional sofa bed get to sleep well every night.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So how do you de-stress? What's your exercise?
Yeah, exercise definitely. I try to keep fit. I run 3 or 4 times a week. Go to the gym a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
I like to compete in triathlons.
Mm-hmm.
So I find when I'm out, I like to get up early, get out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, do my 8 miles and run, and that is my time to kind of take in nature and the surroundings, and have some time just to
clear.
And sometimes I'm listening to my podcast, sometimes I'm thinking about, okay, what's the day ahead in store, and sometimes it's just being grateful. And I think that's another big thing, being grateful, thinking about what is wealth, and wealth to me is health and happiness, and not necessarily all about the financial side of it. So try and have a bit of gratitude, which I could probably do better on, but I think we all could, couldn't we, probably, if we're honest.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you, Paul. That's fantastic. I think an insight into yourself, insight into business, and making that jump. I think it's a lot of people out there would take a lot from that. Actually,
I hope so.
Yeah.
Before we finish, I've got a little gift for you.
Oh,
maybe you don't mind. I don't want to embarrass you, but one thing we haven't touched on, I suppose, is what I think again you do really well is when it comes to customer experience, it's a personal thing. So making your customers feel like the experience they've had with you is a personalised experience, I think is really important. So I've got both you and Victoria. I didn't want to leave out Victoria. A little gift here, so I'll let you.
There we go.
There's one each in there for you. This is, I don't know whether you're aware of the Tony's chocolate brand. Do you know Tony's? But with Tony's you can personalise these.
Look at this. Look, Victoria, we've got our own chocolate bar. An unorthodox chocolate bar. Thank you very much,
all
Paul.
Branded with some of your slogans on there, Steve, as well. If you're
That's a wrap. Tune in, Josh. Like and subscribe. Yeah. And Victoria, the super producer. Yeah.
Pleasure. Enjoy that with a cup of tea.
Wow. Yeah. That's fantastic. Thank you, Paul. We've not had a gift from it. No. Yeah.
There you go.
We'll talk about this forever now. You see, the power of the gift. Thank you very much, Paul. Well, we haven't quite finished because we've got some quick fire questions. We always have quick fire questions, don't we? So, are you ready?
I feel like I should be in a black mastermind there or something. I'm nervous.
Okay, so here we go for question number one. Which stage of a triathlon is your favourite?
Oh, my favourite, I would probably say the bike, because the swim, often if it's in the sea, is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And the run, you just want to get it finished, because by then you're knackered. So I'll go with the bike.
Go with the bike. Okay, we'll go with the bike. Okay, question number 2. What's your go-to way to switch off?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, I don't read the questions before.
That's what we love about the Unorthodox CEO podcast.
Exactly. It is true and raw. We don't edit nothing.
We know that.
Yeah, we know that. We'll move on from that one. We've already covered that one. Okay, question number 3. Yeah, here we go. Biggest lesson from your time in the fitness world?
Biggest lesson. Sorry to all the gyms, but the gym is 30% and diet is 70%.
Really?
In my view.
Yeah.
But that might be for me.
Yes.
But you can work as hard as you like, but if you diet, you can't outrun a bad diet.
No, you can't.
The gym helps you build it, the kitchen helps you see it.
Yeah. Good. Good. Nice learning. And finally, question number 4. If you didn't work in customer experience, CX, what would you be doing instead?
I'd like to be working with a nice independent family business.
Yeah.
Don't know if anyone can think of one, but I'd probably be working for a nice independent family business. I'd probably be selling, that's the truth.
Really?
I enjoy
sales. Yeah.
I enjoy meeting new people, understanding what they're looking for, what they need, discovering what the pain, the problem, the issue, the challenge is, and then helping them to solve that with the right product. So I think I'd probably be selling something.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Do you know, I mean, I started on the front line selling, and even today, there's nothing like it, as you say there, where you take someone and they've got the problem and you're trying to solve it, and the bonus is you get a sale out of it, but it's a buzz. It really is. So.
It's that fist pumping kind of.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's big, small, and the value actually doesn't really come into it. It's just, like what we would always call years ago, scratching the pad. Yeah. Writing it down.
Oh.
You don't write stuff down now.
The quill and the ink.
Well, not quite that long ago. It was a biro, but
We were talking about faxing the other day, weren't we?
We were talking about fax. Yeah. I mean,
Really?
Vic, I don't never seen a fax.
Do you know what a fax machine is, Olivia?
No.
Brilliant.
I know. This is the conversation we had.
Yeah,
and I'm
we
saying
thought
when
that.
they first come in, I think it was 89, 90, and we had this machine, yeah. And before that, we used to, so we had a store in Hayward's Heath, and the orders used to have to manually, like physically be driven down to
Yeah.
Hastings, and the fax machine come along where you could put the document into the fax and then it would appear at the other end in Hastings, and it was like, oh my goodness. And I do have a confession, you know, I'm like, how does it do that? How does it roll that piece of paper all the way down there? Yeah, a fax machine, and now gone.
Yeah.
Nobody sees
Obsolete.
Gone. But at its time, wasn't it? Huge.
Well, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
when I think back to my marketing days, when we would receive proofs for things,
Yeah.
it'd all be via fax, and then you would have to mark up your amends or sign it off to say it was authorised and fax it back. So I'm old enough to remember and use the fax.
Remember the
machine.
fax, and I miss the dial-up internet as well. But anyway, not the slowness, but
The
just,
noise.
Yeah, just the noise.
All that, yeah.
Yes, we were like that. No idea.
So we normally finish with a tip of the week. Paul, have you got a tip of the week for customer experience? You know,
My tip, I think, would be to listen. So to really listen to your customers, your staff, be intentional about that. So have proactive ways where you can find out what your customers, what your team members think of you and your business.
Yeah.
Because if you understand how they feel, you can then learn from those things, make changes, do more of the positives, and ultimately, you know, your customers and your team, they are your most important assets.
Yeah.
So if we're in tune with what they are thinking and feeling, that will enable us, that can form your marketing activity. If we know our customers are saying all these good things about us, we want to tell other people that's what we're like. And of course also it allows you to use that as social proof to, you know, because you can say how great Sussex Beds is. I can sit here and say how great Sussex Beds is. But actually, if your customers on a daily, weekly, monthly basis are telling people how great you are, there's no better form of advertising.
no. And it's interesting you said the word listen, because it would be very easy to just do the survey, do the mystery shop. But it's actually what you do with that information afterwards, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
That's where they come alive.
Yes.
You know, so businesses can have their surveys, have their mystery visits, but if they don't take action,
Yes.
if they don't give the feedback to the team, if they don't have them as a tool within the business to help them to be better, and that's how all this is. This is all proactive management of data to help the business to be better.
Yeah.
And so by sharing it with the team, that's where it really comes alive.
That's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Olivia.
Pleasure.
I hope you've enjoyed. So we need to, that's a wrap it now, you see.
Loved it. Thank you.
So here we go. I'll pick up my bit and this is it, the outro. Here we go. So next week we are joined by Lewis Stockford. Lewis, he'll be joining us and he'll be talking and telling us what it's like to be a agent or representative or in the bed and furniture industry. It's our first, one of our suppliers, this is our agent, and what it's like being in the middle there, because again, we've spoken about middle management and the challenges of that. And being a rep or agent, you're working on behalf of the business that you're working for, but also the businesses you are supplying, and you're in the middle. So it's another tough job. But also, Lewis is a semi-professional footballer. Actually, I believe, bringing in some pictures and some photos of him playing alongside Frank Lampard. So we're going to hear about all his football career as well. So any people in the industry that didn't know that, I think they do, because he does tend to tell a few people, Anyway, so we're looking forward to seeing meeting Lewis. Remember, new episodes drop every single Wednesday, so don't forget to tune in. And if you want more unfiltered business talk, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at An Unorthodox CEO. Yes.
Well done.
Yep. It's quite a mouthful there. I don't know who chose that name.
Yeah, I've listened a couple of times.
I struggle every time. Yeah, I have. Anyway, if you're listening or watching in the morning, good morning. Welcome to another day on this sunny planet or rainy planet. It was raining this morning. And if you're walking your dog in the woods or listening to us as you drive, thank you very much. And if you're tucking yourself up in bed with a cup of coffee, listening to our wonderful podcast, then thank you and good night. Good night. Well done. Woo!